Hello, friends and people of the internet. I'm BJ Gisbera, and this is the 15-Minute BJ. Welcome to the show, folks. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm going to open up about one of my struggles as a working musician. But whether you're a musician or an artist, a lady with a big girl job, or just a kindergartner, the stuff we're going to talk about today is probably going to resonate with some of you. But before we get to that, if you're in San Diego and looking for some live music, here's when you can catch me at the Tipsy Crow and around San Diego this week. Upcoming gigs. Wednesday, July 29th, you can catch me at Tipsy Crow from 7 to 9 p.m. Same as Thursday, Tipsy Crow, 7 to 9 p.m. Then, on Friday, you don't even have to leave your couch. You can catch me on the Wildcat Guitars live stream. That's going to be on their YouTube channel at 8 p.m., followed by Sunday, August 2nd, I'll be at the Tipsy Crow at 2 p.m. And then on Monday at Humphrey's Backstage in Point Loma starting at 6 p.m. That one's going to cost $5. You don't have to pay it at the door. They add it to your tab later. You won't even notice it's there. And that's it for this week's super light schedule. So I'll be getting some recording done and taking my time to get life back together after Comic-Con weekend. And a little game called Power World have taken over all of my bandwidth. But don't get me started on Power World because we will definitely be here all day for sure. So let's take a quick commercial break, and when I return, you guys will see behind the curtain and get a glimpse at what makes me tick. Heck, even maybe I'll learn a couple things about myself. So stick around, strap in, and stay tuned. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, are you looking for the perfect gift for that special someone? Well, look no further. We have the perfect gift for you. The CVBJ hat. Featured in black and black. This sleek style will have you looking good for any occasion. Or you could try our next color, the brown and gold. For all the San Diego fans out there, I can't say exactly who this looks like because of copyright infringement, but you know. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get that San Diego spirit, the brown and gold is for you. Maybe the San Diego spirit is not your style? Well, don't worry, folks. We have more colors and more fits. Also available in black and gray. You can get the CVBJ hat in the black and gunmetal gray. This one looks good on anybody. It fits every head shape, every size. Ladies, gentlemen, doesn't matter. Little kids, they look great in the black and gray. Last but not least, for all of you who like to go hunting or just not to be seen in general, folks, we have the camouflage CVBJ hat. You can check these out at any gig. You can get them for $25 from BJ Gisbera himself at any gig. So come on out, grab yourself a CVBJ hat, and look half as cool as this model. Welcome back, folks. In the intro, I alluded to something that sounds like I'm about to go on some sort of self-help tirade about what you need to do with your life if you want to be a top dog and make big moves. But that's not what this is. I'm not a top dog myself, and I have yet to make any real big moves. But this show is about what's going on in my world, and this is one of my biggest struggles. So if I sound preachy or seem like I'm trying to tell you what to do at all, just know that's not what this is. This is just me talking to future me, who will be rewatching this video about 1 million times in editing. Sup, future me, good luck with this one. And hoping that some of it sticks. Okay, disclaimers aside, if you gain anything or feel like what I'm saying makes any sense, then heck yeah, that's awesome. But just remember, I'm mostly just trying to vocalize something I'm going through and hopefully brainstorm a solution. I am not a self-help guru. The thing I struggle with most is finding the right routine that allows for work-life balance. For me, a daily routine not only takes the guesswork out of life, but it allows me to feel like I'm accomplishing something in times where progress is not always the easiest to see. By setting a daily routine, it allows my mind to quietly focus in on whatever task is at hand, instead of wondering what else I should be doing in that moment. When things seem unbalanced, it's normally because I've gotten off track. A misconception of self-employment is that you could spend all day doing what you want, working when you feel like it, never missing an episode of your favorite show. But the truth is, the people who treat it like that most likely won't make it very long. Personally, I see it every time I slip up on my routines in very tangible ways. I didn't spend enough time emailing places for gigs. Well, then I have no gigs and I make no money. If I didn't exercise for a week, then I feel absolutely terrible. My brain is so foggy, I find it harder and harder to stay on track. I didn't make a conscious effort to stop working and get quality family time. Well, then I feel like an absolute piece of, I feel like a bad dad and a terrible partner, and nobody wants to be that. I think you get the gist. A daily routine is key in my life because if I slip up for just a bit, the results are always negative. My mental health really relies on me adhering to a routine. I'm happiest when I feel like I'm getting into a steady groove and checking boxes towards achieving my ultimate goal, which is to support my family as an independent artist. On the flip side, if I don't stick to a schedule or something feels like it derails me from my path, I am no fun to be around. I'm an absolutely moody little diva. And I'm working on that too. Sorry, friends and family. Life doesn't always allow for routines. As a parent of a young kiddo, I can always find a distraction from work. Messes to clean, games to play, books to read, and all the action figure battles anyone could ever dream of. That's when I have to check myself and remember that a 15-minute play break should not become an excuse to skip an entire email sesh or to not practice new songs. I never want my son to feel like he comes second to my work, but I do want him to see that I work hard for him and his mom. I want to show him that if you're focused and you work hard, you can achieve almost anything. But that balance seems almost impossible sometimes. For a kid, everything is immediate because they don't have the experience to understand the long game or patience, which makes having my own routine all the more important. I really have to balance my time between when I can work while he's at school and being available when he's home as to not miss a single moment of his very short childhood. Okay, it feels like I'm trauma dumping here a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. So let's move on from the problem and let's look at solutions. In my never-ending journey to find balance between work and life, these are the tools that I use to try and stay on the right path. First, I have a clear idea of what I want to achieve. I set a long-term goal and short-term goals, and I try to start with one big goal and break it into several smaller goals that I can achieve along the way. This gives me a roadmap on which I can track my progress. And none of this happens inside my head. I write all of these goals down on sticky notes, and I put them to a cork board, which I look at daily. And right now on this cork board are work goals, creative goals, and physical goals. Things like achieving 100 daily push-ups by the end of the year, or learning 60 new songs by the end of the year. I've even got a card on there for starting a guitar program for school-age kids in the South Bay area. Anything I want to achieve, I put on here. My next step is to fill out a calendar and a daily planner with things that apply to the goals on the corkboard. Setting up a calendar helps me see which days I have more time for certain tasks and allows me to put the puzzle pieces together in a way that seems to fit them all. From the monthly calendar, I move to a daily planner that allows me to break down my whole day by the hour. I write in everything from making breakfast to brushing my teeth before bed. I feel like if I write out my whole day and what it should look like, then I'm not wasting any time trying to figure out what to do next. My friend Steve says those who fail to plan should plan to fail. And I'm not sure if that's an original quote, but I do think Steve is right on about that. The corkboard and the planner are great tools to help you plan, but if I could add a second line to that quote, it would be something like, plans only work if you put in the work. And I'm definitely guilty of writing out a plan for the day and accomplishing none of it. Sometimes the goals are a little too lofty, or the day just seems to be crazy, and it comes down to me allowing distractions to make me lazy and get us sidetracked from pursuing my goals. But the last thing I've been doing lately is trying to absorb material that teaches me or inspires me to be better. Books like The 5 a.m. Club, The War of Art, or The PMA Effect are all in constant rotation for me. They approach conquering your shortcomings by the way of self-discipline and great routines. And if you're like me, struggling to find that badass professional inside of you, I strongly recommend those books. All right, I realize this episode probably could have been a three-parter, but to sum it up, work-life balance is a trapeze act over a floor of spikes and broken glass. And no matter who you are, finding work-life balance is rarely as simple as some people on the internet might make it sound. For me, I need a plan, I need a routine, and I need to constantly execute, or I will find myself falling from those swinging bars to the spiky floor that awaits for me below. But if I can do it, anybody can, especially you. All right, now that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, folks. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing to my page, so that way you can know anytime a new episode comes out. And word of mouth is huge to a project like this, so please share it with a friend. I would really appreciate it. Speaking of appreciation, big thank you to Mannequin Vanity Records, Emo Brown, and the Tipsy Crow for all your support. And thank you to Knockaround Sunglasses and Vinyldisorder Stickers, who now both offer discounts to my listeners on their websites. Their links are going to be in the description, so check it out. And let's wrap up this video with a quick song from the Tipsy Crow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
God, we forgot about the things we said when I was drunk. Didn't mean to call you that. I can't remember what you said or what you threw at me. Please tell me why. 'Cause in my life, and I'm sleeping with the me, you got my own worst enemy. Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Smoke a blunt and throw it on, there's a secret still burning. Please tell me why. Cause in your and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. Keep me through the winter. Last night, it's not surprising me, I got my own worst enemy. Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Can we forget about those things I said when I was drunk? Didn't mean to call you that. Thank you, Tipsy Crow, that was lit. Literally, that was lit. Not just how the kids on TikTok are saying it these days. The name of the band was lit. No cap, that shit was bussin', on God. Skibbity. All right.